wiesz? Chodź!
Over the past few days, our screens have been flooded with horrific scenes like this. Thousands of people dead and buildings completely flattened to the ground in Syria and Turkey. There are still an unknown number of innocent people trapped in the rubble left behind by two deadly earthquakes that rumbled through the area. Well, less than a week on, the death toll has nearly doubled daily, and the world has looked on in horror at the aftermath of the quake, and in most cases come together to help. Londoners have rallied together to raise hundreds of thousands of pounds to send out, and community groups and charities like this one have donated boxes of essential items. I spoke to Halit from the West London Turkish Volunteers, who was at a depot loading hundreds of boxes onto a chartered plane. Hi, how are you doing? Where are you this morning?
This is the group of people. We're all waiting to offload into the Turkish airline hangars. It's just, there's about 15 vans here, and we've been here for about an hour or so, and they're just trying to organise it. We've still got another 3-4 more vans to come and offload. So the contribution has been tremendous by everybody in the community, everybody that our local community, the Turkish community, everybody's put in a massive effort, and hopefully it will reach the people that need it and that benefits them, because it's very cold right now in Turkey. And obviously, without homes, without running water, it's just our way of trying to help the best way we can.
Well, at the time of recording this, Halit was told by Turkish Airlines that they're putting a stop, potentially momentarily, to material donations. And his advice, along with many of the other big charities, is that monetary donations, as well as humanitarian aid, are what those in need will really benefit from most now.
A child is a child no matter where they are, and these children, the millions of children who need humanitarian support, are now, on a precipice. They're facing dangers that no one's really seen if you bring into account conflict, COVID, cholera, and now an earthquake of this magnitude. So support is required. We understand that the fatigue among donors, and now a war in Ukraine and a food crisis and so on, but we also understand that we know what needs to be done, and the kind of aid that is required is not hugely expensive, and families are doing so much. Families are always the frontline responders, it's important to remember, but there are times just like this one where they need a leg up. They've exhausted everything they've got, literally everything they've got, and they need international support.
Well, the UK have sent emergency response teams and search dogs to help in the areas most affected.
I've been working in the humanitarian space for more than 15 years. I've been to many disaster zones, I've been to many war zones, and I have to say that the size and the scale of this is unprecedented. There were search and rescue operations going on in everywhere. Everywhere you look, there was a search and rescue going on, and it was really difficult. And there were glimpses at times of hope when people would find somebody had been buried for 45, 50 hours. At that stage, it's that first critical 72 hours in which we believe are the key time in which we want to take people out of the rubble, and they still have that chance of survival. That's been badly impacted by the weather. There are sub-zero conditions, it's -6, it's very, very cold.
Many of the old buildings were completely destroyed, and the ones still standing are fragile. The recovery mission has only really just got started, with one engineering expert explaining why this is.
Further ground shakings, even if of smaller entity, can actually determine the collapse of buildings. So it's a very risky situation at the moment, particularly for people who are trying to provide initial support to the communities.
The Disaster Emergency Committee in the UK have launched a Turkey-Syria earthquake appeal, bringing together 15 leading UK aid charities, with the government and regulators reminding people to check charities are registered and legitimate before making generous donations.